Well, hey everyone, it's Wednesday again, and here we go again, getting ready for another possible storm. Just amazing, just amazing. So, the last advisory, the last couple actually, has it like jogging a little towards the west, which would be away from our coast, but still heading towards the panhandle, and with, of course, as always, us being on the dirty side of the storm. So we still get lots of rain, lots of wind, lots of flooding and possible tornadoes and all that good stuff. But you can never fully trust the forecast. You just use it as a guide. It is not set in stone. Anything can happen. The best case scenario would be for it just to peter out and go away. But that's what we're doing, getting ready for another storm. So let's move on to some more fun stuff. Now, when I shared my market results the other day, I forgot to mention one thing. I got to test out those new tote bags. They hold a lot. They hold a lot. It's because they're, it's flexible. I was able to fit a lot more into my car. Because I had other things with me this time that I didn't have before, like the wagon and the fan, and I took all 3 tables along with the canopy, and my car was jam-packed. So they are nice for that. They are easier to carry than the totes. However, the one thing that I did not like about them, and I miss about the totes, is they don't stack very well. Like if I was setting up for a market and I was using my totes, I would stack them on top of each other, and I'm not having to bend down to floor level and then back up and bend down to the floor and then back up. With these, you're doing that. And they're big to where it's kind of hard to hold it and have it open and pull things out and try and set it up. So that was a little bit of an inconvenience. So I'll have to use them a few more times to see if the positives outweigh that one negative. But I just wanted to mention that. I think I remembered everything else about the market when I did the market video. I don't know, like Saturday and Sunday was a total blur. I was exhausted from the heat, just exhausted. And I still feel a little drained. I was able to do a little bit of crocheting. Saturday, I recorded the video and I did nothing else. Sunday and Monday, I spent those 2 days getting caught up on button orders, which I have to do again today because I didn't do anything yesterday. And then Monday night, I was able to crochet one thing. Well, actually, Sunday night, I did crochet one thing. I tried out a new pattern. And then Monday, I was able to crochet a couple of things. And then yesterday, I did a couple of small things. So I just have a little bit to share with you. So we'll do the Chunky-mon first. So I sold 2 Chunky-mon at the market, and I wanted to remake those. And plus I still had the 2 that I didn't get made that I wanted to make. And then I told you guys the wrong one that sold. I knew it was one of the teal colored ones, but I just without having them all together lined up, I couldn't tell which one it was. So it was the Snorlax, the Snoring Sleepyhead. This is the one that sold. I was way off. So I remade one of these. And the other one that sold was the electric mouse that looks like Pikachu. So I remade another one of these. And I think I messed up his tail, but it still looks okay. So, yep, we did those two. So when I was, oh, there's a story behind this. Do you guys want a story? Okay. Jenna works at this place part-time that they make like specialty coffees, but it's also a place where people get together and they play games like Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering and, you know, those fantasy card game type things. So she keeps telling me, you should put some in there to sell. You should put some in there to sell. So she talked me into taking some up there to show to her boss. And there are other local people with their little craft things in there. Now, it's like they get a commission. You don't have to pay for space or anything like that. So I went in to check it out to see, like, what kind of space am I working with? What type of things should I send in there? Do I want to do this? So I went up there, talked to the lady. She's super nice. She actually bought a lovey for herself for a baby shower gift. So I'm trying to put together things that I think might sell to a crowd like that. And one of the things that is the Chunkymon. I think they'll do well in there. So I remade those two that I sold. And then when I was looking through everything to get a sample of things together to take up there and show her what I had, you know, just to give her an idea, I was pulling all the Chunkymon out and I could not find Jigglypuff. And I didn't sell it. I don't think anybody stolen, you know, I don't think anybody stole it. It's in those bags somewhere and I just can't find it because these are small. So I made another Jigglypuff. I have a cat staring at me. Well, while I was pulling these out and comparing it to the pattern pictures, I realized that on the Bloom Skipper, I didn't give him any ears. So I had to add the ears to this one. Oh my God. Totally missed it. Just totally missed it. So we put ears on this one. And then I had the chance to make the other two that I did not make. So the Psychic Duck, his little arms like he's up here thinking, you trying to read your mind. So these are all made out of the Premier Brights. You know, it's got that Bernat feel, but Bernat Baby, it's softer. And a 6mm hook. This part is acrylic, and of course these all have the safety eyes in them. And then the last one that I did not make was Spiky Egg. I don't even know how to pronounce the real Pokemon name, but so it was this. Now this one is Bernat Baby, because you needed a pale yellow, and this yellow is the only yellow that I had in the Brights, hence the name Bright. So it's mixed. It's the Premier and Bernat Baby. So the white is Premier and Bernat Baby. And then you stitch on the little geometric shapes. So the red is acrylic and the blue is cotton, because how do you not have blue in acrylic? I have a ton of acrylic yarn, but my color choices are limited, because when I purchased that, it was for specific things, and then maybe those specific things didn't quite happen, which is a very good possibility. But yeah, so there's a total of 13 of them right now. And Naughty Nat just did a tester call on another one. I applied. I hope I get picked. I don't know, it's kind of hard to get picked on Instagram. It's real hard. Most of my pattern tests have been the designers asking me. I think I've only been picked twice. I think twice out of all the pattern tests that I've applied for. So if you're applying and not getting picked, don't get discouraged. Eventually it'll happen. Eventually, people will see your name enough and maybe they'll approach you. So, I mean, I'm sure that I don't know. Usually, when Shannon first approached Sue and I about testing, it was because she knew we would be brutally honest. And, and that's what she wanted. She wanted people that were going to be honest with her and say, yes, this looks good, like the format and the way the pattern's written, or no, I don't understand this, or whatever the case may be. But I've had a few designers approach me about testing. So there's that. But don't get discouraged. Just keep putting your name in. Eventually it's going to happen for you. Speaking of pattern testing, I did a pattern test this week. So this one, when I was asked, I agreed, even though I have a ton of things on my plate. I agreed because it was small. And it is supposed to be all the fluff. It is supposed to be a pocket elephant, a quick market make. Now, of course, when you're doing a pattern test, it doesn't go as fast as if you're just reading and making, following the directions and making your plushie. You're looking for, does the math add up? Are there any typos in it? Are the directions clear enough? So you go a little slower when you're doing a pattern test. So I did not do mine at a Parfait Chunky where it would have come out pocket size. I used Sweet Snuggles Light in a light gray, and this is the elephant. Now I think that it's really cute. You have to sew the ears on and sew the head onto the body. The rest of it is crocheted in. The instructions were very simple. She showed me a picture. She has 3 others along the lines of her pocket design. I'm trying to remember what they are. Oh, I can't think. But this pattern is not available yet. It will, let's see, the testers have until the 30th. And I would assume very shortly after that. But I will link her Etsy in the description below, and you can go over there and favorite, or I can give you her Instagram, and you can go over there and follow her on Instagram and know when the patterns release. I usually do Etsy because anybody can go to Etsy. Instagram, you kind of have to have an Instagram account, and some people don't like that. So probably, the 30th isn't that far away. Today's what, the 25th, 26th, something like that. So there wouldn't be a long wait, but it's a cute, easy pattern. And instructions were very clear. So I have one elephant. So back to the dungeon. That place is, it's called the Coffee Dungeon. It's kind of an odd name, but when you consider the the games, you know, Dungeons and Dragons and stuff that they do in there. It's a fitting name. So I was trying to figure out what types of things would be good for there. Not that I don't have like a million other things on my plate right now, but I mean, that's local and I could just send it into work with Jenna and not have to worry about it. So all those games are played with a lot of dice, a lot of different shaped dice. So I searched, I Googled Dungeons and Dragon crochet patterns, and I was coming up with some interesting things that looked very complicated and like you would never get your money out of. If you were making it for yourself, it would be different. But yeah, no, I'm not that ambitious. Not to do all that. Not using acrylic and a tiny hook. So I came across a potion bottle dice bag, which of course led me to Etsy, which of course showed me all kinds of other options. And I settled on one. Price had a little bit to do with it. I mean, they all pretty much looked the same, so this was a lower priced one. But I also liked the fact that it could attach to your belt loop, so that for people that are into cosplay, it would be like a costume prop or accessory. So this one was my first attempt. Now it's supposed to be that the color at the bottom is the color of your potion, and then you change colors, and this is the color of the glass. The pattern says slip stitch to join, chain one, and I did exactly as the pattern said on this one, with one exception. I attached my cork wrong, but it still works. So Jenna thought it was pretty cool, and I'm like, I don't know, because you are doubling up on your acrylic, so 2 strands, and using it's called for a 4.5 millimeter hook. Now, normally when I use a 4-weight acrylic, I'm dropping down to like a 4 millimeter, maybe a 3.5 if it's a thin 4-weight, and my stitches are plenty tight enough with that. So I kind of struggled a little bit with this one. Using the 4.5 millimeter hook slowed me way down. Then of course the slip stitch to join, chain one, start a new round. Now of course it keeps your lines straighter and you don't have that spiral effect, but it makes it more difficult to do it that way. So I decided, let me try it again. This time I'm going to go up to a 5 millimeter hook, and I'm going to try and do it in a spiral. And I got the cork attached right this time. So this time I did a solid color. And I really like these mustard golden type colors. And I changed, like the pattern said to use brown. All my browns are really dark. So this, I believe, is, I have no clue. It's all Premier Basics. I cannot remember the name of the color, but it looked more like a natural rope color to me. And then I changed the cork to, this is a Yarn Bee yarn that I had bought, started a project and frogged it all out. So I have quite a bit of this pretty color. It's oatmeal, I believe, is what the color was. It's a Hobby Lobby one. And to me, that looked more cork color. So, and then you got your loop to attach it to your belt. And of course, it opens. And it's, you know, you could crush it. I'm not going to squeeze it because I don't want to shape the form. But it holds its shape really well. The only thing that's stuffed is the cork. So I did that one. And then talking to Jenna and her boyfriend suggested, oh, you need to do one for red because that's like in the game that gives you a life. One in blue, which I don't have a good blue. And I want to say they said green as well. I have some greens, but not bright greens. Yeah, so I did another one. I had red. So I did red. Now the original pattern, they put like a little piece of fake flowers, you know, shrubbery, the leaves, stems, whatever in there, like it's an herb, and which makes it look pretty, but yeah, I don't know. So this one, again, I did in the spiral. I used the same, whatever color that is from, I know I'm a lot of help, from Premier Basics. This red is the Hobby Lobby red. So, and it's slightly thinner than the Basics. You can see just a little bit of a size difference. And then, of course, this one's even smaller because it was the 4.5 millimeter hook that took forever. But they are under the impression, you know, of course, they're about like 20 and 21. Even the shop owner was like, those will sell. So these are not going to the market with me. I mean, I guess I could make some. Maybe, I don't know. But these are going to go into the dungeon. And we'll see what happens. If they don't sell there, then I'll take them to the market with me. And that is what I have made. Not a lot. So I was working on, like, one thing I'm paranoid about with the putting price tags on everything is someone's going to come along and they'll buy it and they're just going to pull on that price tag string and it's going to break the stitch. So for in the dungeon, without me being there to supervise the removal of the price tag, I wanted to come up with a different way to do it, to attach it. So my price tags come with a string, and you just pull that string through and then stick the price tag through the loop and it's on there. So what I did is I cut the knot at the end of that string, pulled it through, and then brought it around and tied it into a little bow where the price tag is butt up against the plushie and the bow is right on top of the price tag. Let me get one to show you. Okay, so it's not flopping all over the place. It's right up on top of it. And then so that they can identify, not that there's other crochet items in there, but for their people when they ring up their cash register so that they can identify whose product it is and they know what buttons to hit. I made myself some stickers and stuck it on to one side of the price tag, and then the price is written out on the other side. But it's just tied in a little bow right on top, so they just have to pull the little string and undo it. I can just see somebody just grabbing the tag and just jerking it right off and breaking the stitch. So that always makes me nervous. But yeah, so that's the plan. Send in a complete, well, it's not a complete set, but of what's available. A complete set of what's available, one of each. And then these are easy enough to make. Then I can remake more for my market. I mean, I have time. Not a lot of time, but I do have time. And just see what happens with that. I don't know, I just can't think of another way of doing it to where I won't be worried about it. Hopefully that works and nobody damages my work. All right, you guys, I'm gonna go make some button orders and maybe I can crochet later on. I don't know. But just in case the mail isn't running, I need to get these orders done and to the post office so that I don't have any late shipping issues. Okay, so we will see you in the next video. Bye for now.